All right, so welcome back to another scene for This Life Season 2, set for Meow in the Sept of the Hearthsfire. Or the Sept of Hearthsfire? You know what? I was trying to make it fancy and throw an extra word in there. That's not needed. But, anywho, Kira is going to be out and about, having gotten up to God knows what the day before, and well, a lot of people know what the day before because that was just a fucking spectacle. It was a whole ass spectacle, is what that was. So, with that in mind, she will probably head out looking for various pack mates, and it's no fun to just ask where they are. Where's the fun in that when you can just wander up to the training grounds and like try to catch them being weird? The runes are weird, and the runes are so easy to find. They're just it's always where there's fighting, where there's weapons. That's just their Dougie. So yeah, she's just sauntering up that way, hands shoved in her pockets. Uh, her charm necklace now laden with an extra little bauble, as it seems that she has straight kifed one of the white pawns out of a chess set and just screwed one of the little eyelets into it and strung it on the same chain as her prior charm. But yeah, she'll come a sauntering roughly in the direction of where all of that goodness is, the training grounds, the gauntlet down below or above, or wherever it is remotely adjacent to the training area. Just keeping an eye. If she's either looking for a redhead or if she's looking for a dude with shock white hair. I mean, both of them are kind of easy to spot.
That is true. I mean, yeah, I figure right after the vignette is fine. You can find Gideon basically out there just hammering fists into a tree.
And yet, bloody knuckles and all, not gonna lie, the first thing Kira thinks is, oh, that poor tree. As she deviates in that direction. No, just still sauntering along at an easy strolling pace. It'd be fun to jump on him and startle him, but yeah, startling a runes when they're in the middle of their shit, mixed reactions, mixed bag really. So maybe not, maybe not this time.
He's just he seems dreadfully focused. There's a looks like there's a what's the word? A suit of armor folded nearby, along with his old pair, which you've seen before.
Oh yeah, fuck it, just to make sure she doesn't startle him and get roared at. That she'll amble up, kind of lean over, get a look, like, oh, he focused though. Slide around behind the tree, peek out. Yep, still focused. And if that doesn't break his concentration, we'll go over and kind of like poke at the new armor because what's this?
Well, I mean, you'd remember seeing the crawler that we fought.
The beetle kaiju thing.
The thing that was like going underground and whatnot.
Yeah,
Oh, that's it. You know the hide when you see it.
just like a little poke and finally like kind of like lifts it a little bit to look at this side, that side, not like actually lofting it off the ground, just kind of like sneaking a peek at the other part that's folded under. It's just like, oh well, that's fucking cheeky. I like it.
That was a nice little gift. He'd stop, lean a hand against a tree.
Oh hey, I thought you were in a grudge match. I wasn't sure you were all here. Hey.
Okay.
So trees, am I right?
Well, it's a consistent target that makes my hands hurt when I hit it. It's a nice form of training.
I mean, they got some wooden poles over there. I mean, you're probably gonna knock it over, but it'll piss the edges off less. I mean, I'm just saying.
I don't think there's anything I can do to this tree that will really harm it.
I mean, you would be shooketh.
But how are you this evening or afternoon?
Yeah, there's like kind of she heaves a shrug, finally just kind of rolls back into a butt sit from the crouch. Eh. Pretty
Okay.
good so far. Nothing too crazy yet. Figured I'd come by and see if I'd pissed you off good and proper. What, yesterday? Day before?
You don't piss me off.
I mean, I am exceptionally talented.
No. All the same, you didn't piss me off.
Well, good.
You were frustrated and sad. Can't get mad at somebody for that.
I mean, it's not the best idea, but you could totally do it. No, I
Glad you
went up the making you eat part as opposed to the having strong opinions part, because that part I'm not going to punish for.
exactly. No, that part doesn't bother me. You're taking care of your pack the way you know how.
Yeah, by being obnoxious. No, like the eyebrows pop up, like eh.
But how's everybody else doing?
I mean, Becca is practicing that sweet retail therapy, and apparently making a fish rack. I don't a fish rack. That's happening. But I mean, she did pretty slick at the gauntlet yesterday.
Oh, nice.
Mm. She went up with Michael. Actually, still did pretty good. He even got a hold on her, and she still did pretty good.
Did you take part?
Yeah, that part didn't go so good.
It doesn't matter so long as you try.
Oh, it wasn't about the trying, and it wasn't about me fucking up. But that filthy fucking Metis emptied his entire stomach on me.
Ew.
Yeah. I mean, he got disqualified, but I still want to rip his face off. So, fair's fair and all.
Well, I suppose, but just try to remember all children under Gaia get even.
Yeah, she quirks a grin. The final bit, it's like, please don't do. Oh, bless you. Just the little crook of a grin. Well, I'm gonna. But yeah, had a little go. Someone decided to play foul. I'll make him regret it later. All in all, though, pretty good shit. Thorn and Astrid went at it so hard that they got to that part where you get tired and you get the big blows just over and over.
Yeah, just haymakers left and right.
Oh god, yeah. Master Challenge actually had to jump down and like people had to jump in from both sides and pull them apart because it was just that point where it was a tie. It wasn't going to go anywhere. I get the sneaky suspicion there'll be a rematch.
Even if it's not in the arena.
Oh no, definitely in the arena. The gauntlet goes for multiple days. I'll be back at it.
So
Nobody likes the tie, especially a Paraget. Big old grin. Oh, and I'll give you a heads up because she was sniffing pretty solid. There's a new chick Came in yesterday.
Okay.
Mm. They're from the court of Wisconsin. Bleh,
Oh.
court of Wisconsin.
Oh. From the court of Wisconsin.
Oh yeah,
Hmm.
one of the Bordeaux's. That's one of the big names over there. I'm pretty sure their alpha is a Bordeaux or their king. Like I like to call him. Big old name, but she is a Thayerge, and she came stiffing pretty hard for Pack.
Well, I
I think.
mean, we're in the market, as it were.
Yeah. I mean, for what it's worth, she seemed pretty sensible. Didn't sniff harder than she should have. I didn't get the urge to smack her. Always a good sign.
See if she's any good.
The hands kind of splay. Won't know that till she's been around a while. I mean, that or until she gets on submissions, which I'm pretty sure she's going to. She
Is she
seems
one of
pretty hungry for it.
is she like one of those down to earth silver fangs, or does she have her head firmly planted up her ass?
I mean, you've seen the Silver Fangs around here. It's, I mean, pretty grounded, pretty good, pretty savvy. She definitely had the longest introduction I've ever heard, but it was pretty good. But same token, she didn't give off the better than you vibe. She's not to me.
Well, that's good at least.
Oh no, I would have had to do something about that. Like again, just the big old grin of like, ha. I would have done it too. I'd do it again. So not the worst. Definitely not used to living out in a place like this though. She was wearing heels. She must have been living a life of regret.
I mean, yeah, definitely. She's wearing heels out here. It's that's just gonna.
Oh yeah, they were already covered in mud, poor thing.
It'll change. Give anybody enough time.
Oh yeah. I bet you money she ain't gonna be wearing heels today. No, apparently it sounds like she and Sylvia go back.
Huh.
Oh yeah. So she ended up crashing over at the Ravens. Had a nice little party night of it. But it's something to keep an eye on. Like I said, she sounds hungry. Hungry enough she'll end up on missions like the other Packless have.
Look forward to seeing her then. And you,
No, me.
yes, what are you doing to, I don't know, stay active?
Mostly touch and base.
You said you
Manage.
called your father. Does your father have anything to do with the Bordeaux showing up?
Hmm? No, I don't think so. He's got his own shit going on. He's he's really focused on what he's doing. I don't think it has to do with the Bordeaux. But considering there's Klaus, there's Skyripper, there's I should say Hanging Talon Raya and Skyripper Raya. There's Michael and Anastasia, and I know Anastasia came from over there, or at least is connected to people from over there. And I don't know if you've been to the restaurant yet. You should. It's fucking good. And they do have the, you know, Well, just the air quotes, the VIP section. So you don't have to worry about freaking people out. But, Dale Singer's family have that place. And there were definitely reps from Wisconsin over there already. So it looks like they're really moving in. It's making me wonder what they want. Or if they're just trying to tighten the whole alliance thing.
I don't know. It's a bit too much of a pretty penny for me. It's not my kind of scene, really.
Oh, the restaurant?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, come on, it's fan owned, not Silver fan owned. Jesus.
I think you make a valid point. Maybe I'll have to drop by there one day.
There you go.
Is it just like bangers and mash all over the place over there, or
I mean,
shepherd's pies?
there's look, like pointy finger, look. Just because they have that good shit from home, it's not like all they have.
And I'm not trying to paint with a broad brush, but I mean is it shepherd's pies or cottage pies over there?
I would answer you if I knew the answer. She will supply the answer, whichever that may be.
No, I mean I'd be willing to take a swing at that place every now and again, see how it looks,
I mean, worth it.
and try
And
their stuff.
I mean, hey, turns out it seems like a really good place to socialize. A lot of people seem to hit that place in town. Oh, especially a lot of people working in the city. Nice place to stop off for lunch, I guess. And it's a safe place to socialize. That's where I met Sunny first time.
Oh, before I forget, he points at his armor. You seem to get yourself into a lot of scraps.
Of the old set or the new set?
The old set.
The what? I got a Kevlar vest. I mean, I wasn't wearing it last time, but
Well, I mean that's leather. That's for, when the shit hits the fan. You can't have my vest. I stole that rightfully from a cop.
Look. I'm sure it's awesome, but I can't move in that shit. And I don't know if you noticed, but my A game is movement.
Is what?
Movement.
Oh, I mean, yeah, but whatever you want to do. I don't want to constrict, but I figure if you're gonna get into scraps.
I mean, look, I was doing real good up to the part where I put my entire arm in that thing's mouth. Okay.
Yeah.
And to be fair, it was a really good idea. It just did not pan out the way that I saw it going.
I know. Yeah,
I think they conspired against me. It was a fabulous plan.
It definitely had some merit attached to it. I'm not saying that it was the best idea. I'm not saying it was the worst. There's no such thing as a best and worst scenario when, nobody knows anything.
You know what?
A lack of intel gives a broad band of response.
Speaking of ridiculous shit, I remember you yelled something to me while I was like clinging to its entire face. What was that?
I was gonna tell you to grab one of those stalagmites and, Slim Pickens that shit onto the top of its head.
Well, goddamn! Why didn't you finish telling me?
Well,
would have been way better than sticking my hand in its mouth.
Because I kind of got lost in the sauce.
I mean, you were rocking the sauce, so I suppose I did too.
I kind of got lost in the moment. I think as some of the Baptists back where I came from would say I started to feel the spirit, and that I just kind of said, "Fuck it, I'm gonna kill this thing right now." So,
You know, that's a sentiment I can get along with. I can feel that.
but I'm still very proud of you. It took a lot of balls to decide to want to ride that thing's fucking head.
I mean, the crazy part is riding the head wasn't that hard, but fuck me if its entire head wasn't as hard as rock.
Yeah.
Thought for sure I could at least go for the eyes, but I'm not even sure those were eyes when I finally got up there. I just thought if I could get it, you know, its eye or something and just do my bit, I could get back to what I'd been doing before that. And that is not how that fucking panned out.
You did fine. I mean, in truth, the fact that you didn't run, like most people probably would have.
I mean, normal people, sure.
Oh,
You catch me running, I want you to assume I'm my own doppelganger.
well, I'm just talking about the fact that under most circumstances, people would book. But you didn't. You stuck it out. Riding on that thing's head like it was an insane horse running towards a burning stable.
If only it had run into a burning stable.
And I could respect that.
I mean, it's not like the two of you ran either.
Well, that's our job. Like, quite literally our job.
Yeah,
We don't,
my job is to stab it in the ass while you're doing your job.
exactly. So, you should have been stabbing it in the ass. You went for the mouth.
Apparently, I should have just been stabbing it in the ass. Who knew this whole time? If I, you know, the head, that's where all the vulnerable bits are. I mean, all the cuts are covered by scales, but surely I could just poke it in the eyeball. But no. No eyeball for me.
Well, as far as an assessment of how we went goes, I think it went well. If I look past the loss and I look at what we did, we fernarled, we tore the scales, and then we went for the soft spot. And I think that went very well.
I mean, from what I could see, you and Becca were doing shit hot.
Becca did very well.
Some top tier ruined bullshit. That's what that was. Man, we should have stolen some of the skills off that too.
I think we were a bit lost in the moment.
Yeah.
I would have loved to have taken that thing's head back, but
There's a shrug and the backwards flop.
yeah, basically, same.
God, that was some fucking shit.
Yeah. Yes, it was.
You know, I think if I had been on the ground and Siren had thrown up a little more fire, we might have actually gotten it faster.
What do you mean?
I mean, if I had been on the ground, I could have been going for the soft spot. If Siren had been throwing up the cries, some of them help you really target in on what you're fighting.
Yeah. Well, it's very easy for us to sit there and think about what should have happened in the craze of it all.
No, I'm not talking about beating a dead horse. Just if you don't figure out what you did wrong, you don't not do it again.
Exactly. That's all. Next time, you know, you keep, hammering away at the spots that we hit. And boss lady, keeps us fueled and ready to go. That's all things we can look into. I'm not worried. I think, given the circumstances, I'm very proud of our performance.
She kind of thinks on that, goes, sucks in a breath, and lets the eyes go skyward for a minute. On the one hand, yeah, but on the other hand, if we hadn't given a good performance, we'd be fucking dead.
Maybe. Or maybe more of us would have died. That's what I mean. That thing was going to die. Be it my last breath, Rebecca's last breath, yours, Siren's. That thing was going to die. I have no questioning of that whatsoever, because that's what our devotion gives us the strength to do. And the only circumstance where I see it as an issue of poor leadership, in my case, or in Sirens, would be if there could have been less lives saved. 4 of us went up against that thing, and 4 of us came away from it. So that is, in my eyes, the best performance we could have given the context of what we were doing.
What about the rest of the performance?
We need to learn from those mistakes, because our enemy exploited them.
Which means we need to pinpoint the mistakes.
The mistake was simple. That one was on you and me.
You think so?
I do. But that's, once again, that's rear sighting. That's looking behind and saying, well, we could have done this. And that's true, we could have. We could have kept our eyes open and looked before going in. But
My worry,
Hmm?
and this isn't pointing fingers isn't going to bring him back.
Of
I know.
course.
But we did get split because it's my job to take point, and there was no way I was going to see what was in there without calling through. And you were with me to back me up.
Mm-hmm.
And you being on the other side could have changed it. But what also could have changed it is if Becky hadn't gotten pushed through. You think if the two of them could have taken that shit, it might have changed the flow?
Truly? No. They had more behind that wall. They were playing with their food with what they did to Joe. But they're stronger, they're older, and they're more practiced.
But before they showed up, it was a bunch of little shit.
I'm not worried about the little shits. The little shits were there to distract, create chaos.
Yeah. Keep people from getting through. Or keeping a unified front.
Mm-hmm. But I think that the true intent of them was just to harry us. And they were successful. I think that if there were 2 there, or 3, that they still would have came, and they still would have had their backs up against a wall versus a force that's far stronger. And that's not the position you want to be in.
It's not. Then again, it sounded like every time someone really went after those things, really spooked them, they cleared up like fucking roaches.
Mm-hmm. I'm not worried about the things. The things are chum. They're chump blockers. A tar pit. Their only function is to just gum up the works, make us work slower, harry us. But those enemies were behind them. They were controlling them. And that, I don't think, would have changed if there were 2 of us back there or 3 of us back there. I think that they would have just added a few more Guru to the fight. It's a terrible accident. Not an accident, it's a terrible mistake that they took advantage of because we were fighting on their turf. And that's a loss that's always going to happen when you're fighting on someone's home ground.
Yeah, there's thoughtful nodding. It's she's
Yeah.
definitely not casting aside Gideon's opinion on it. Gideon is proven pretty capable.
The only thing we can do now is stop letting them dictate the rules.
Well, before we push forward, let me ask you one more really uncomfortable question because it's
Please.
my job. Are you not worried at all about Siren's martyr complex?
I've had that discussion with Siren.
Yeah, there's a bob of the head. Like, okay, good.
I made it very clear. A leader's job is to lead, not to die. And if she continues with that little martyr complex of hers, I will kick the shit out of her and take command myself.
She pops a little salute and just, I look forward to duking it out.
I don't think it's going to get to that. I think we're all kind of learning what it is, what we are, and how we operate. Admittedly, I know how to deal with the death of a soldier and I know how to deal with commanding people in combat, but there are other things in being a guru that I don't understand quite as well as Siren or you. And we're going to learn together.
We're going to learn. But Siren's bypassed my 3-strike rule at this point.
Oh?
Yeah. And I ain't going to fight you staying in a top dog position because you belong there. You're good on the field. You're really good. But we need to be more tapped in than we are.
What 3 strikes, if you don't mind my asking?
How much you know about Furies? Admittedly, I only have the ones here, for example.
I don't.
So I don't know if you noticed,
Mm.
but the Furies around here, at least, big thing for them. They're the ones who are providing the, the therapy, the help for when the war gets too much, especially for the Ken. But for the Guru too. They're big on that shit. And I was already planning to have a talk with Siren because there was a point where Joe set very clear boundaries as to what he wasn't comfortable with. And she threw him out the window and kept pushing it. And I figured I'd just have a one-on-one with her instead of talking to the other Furies about it. But it'd be something to maybe knock her a little more into sync with people. Because, truth be told, I didn't mind giving her a shot. But she doesn't know us. She hasn't been here with us as long. And she's not going to get to know us if she's not paying attention. And doesn't care how people feel about the things she does. So that was one, but I haven't had the chance to pull her aside for that yet. But all this freezing up, the martyr complex, I'm not going to be someone's excuse to commit suicide on the enemy's claws. Like, do your duty. Good. I jump in the way of a blow for the right people. Then again, I know I can take it better than most of the other packs can, because we have reindeer. I do that for them. But I don't like being someone's excuse to pull a Metis move and just die for the sake of feeling like you died with a purpose. Like, when the Metis take a blow like that, you know what? Good. That's what they do. That's how they make up for the life they took coming in. They give another one back going out. That's good shit. But I'm not someone's excuse to kill themselves on the field. I don't like that.
Okay. I only see 2 strikes. If you don't mind if you are looking for a counterpoint. If you're not, then you can state your...
I know that we're all rough right now. And I know Cyan's rough too. She may not have known us as long, but it's not like she doesn't give a shit. But the idea of completely rejecting any attempt to connect to other people, even if it's just saying, hey, I noticed that you cared about him too. I appreciate that. I feel for you. That's it.
Yeah, but at
No
the
bending
same
over
time,
backwards.
I didn't feel that way either. I
You
don't.
didn't.
I still don't.
You don't think we should connect with other packs?
I don't think that we should connect with other packs on the concept of, well, I know you guys feel bad about Joe. Here, let's... no, I don't.
No, not with that as the founding thing, no. But we need to do it in general.
Well, yeah, I agree with that. But I don't think that... Okay. I'll hit point by point. And it's not because I don't believe that your concerns have merit. Your feelings towards Joe and how to fix and take care of all that stuff carries about as much weight as hers. Now, you may disagree as to what Joe needs, but the only person that can actually have dictated that was Joe.
He did, clearly. And she ignored him and kept doing it.
Okay. Did you ask her why?
Well, I was planning to.
Okay.
I was planning to have a word with her about it and tell her I didn't appreciate that shit.
Okay. That's fine.
Hell of a thing for a Fury to completely ignore someone else's clearly stated boundaries.
Okay. Then that's a good idea to do that. As far as the other stuff, you're probably right. At least in some cases. The martyr thing is not how we operate.
You can't lead if you're just trying to die the whole time.
You can't lead if you're too busy worried about trying to die instead of someone else. I mean, I don't think that Joe made the best choice. I'll say that bright and clear.
I'll say that at least between one or the other, Joe didn't make it, but I think he had a better shot than Siren did.
I disagree. Wholeheartedly.
Joe can outrun anything.
Yeah, Joe can't fist fight worth a shit.
He didn't need to.
Apparently he did.
I don't know what the fuck was twisting his fucking spine. I could feel it.
I know.
But if he'd been able to run, he would have been fine.
Listen, if running away from the trouble is going to fix all of our problems, then by now the Striders would be doing a lot better than they are.
Running away from the problem could have led it away from the rest of us, and at least meant he lived. He's a Theurge, not in a room.
I know. We can go back and forth on this, but frankly, I don't think you keep your tech and your medic behind you because they aren't as armored as you or because they don't have as much firepower as you do.
Oh, I know.
I think running in, pushing her out was a good move to protect the leader. But I don't think tactically it was the best choice. But then again,
the collapse.
hmm?
I don't think he expected the hole to collapse. He should have been back through it.
Yeah, I don't think anybody did, really, honestly. But at the same time, given we can go back and forth, we can try to figure out, well, this shouldn't have happened, but you know what? You're right. When it comes to the martyr thing, that's got to go. And if that's going to continue, then something's going to have to change. How you feel about how she is handling the Joe's feelings in that regard, I don't think I'd have been much better. And I'm not a Fury, so I can't tell you how they handle things. I do know that sink or swim is a very strong get reaction to problems like that. I don't know if what she was doing was right. I don't know if what she's doing is wrong. And I would suggest speaking to another Fury about it just in case. Maybe tough love does work. Maybe it doesn't. I don't know. I'm not a psychologist. I'm a soldier. But the only thing I know for certain is that we're all trying to do what we can.
And that's good. And I don't disagree. What I disagree is whether she's suitable for Alpha. Not suitable to be crew, not suitable to be in the pack, but suitable for Alpha. And ironically, there's really no shame in not being suited to Alpha.
True.
Some aren't. And I don't think she is.
Okay. Then that's definitely a conversation you two are going to need.
I'm planning to have it as soon as I can catch her. She's harder to find than you.
Well.
A little bit of a grin there, just to bring it back around a little bit and drop a bit of the seriousness.
No. We can rearm and get ready to get back into this fight. 2 days is enough time.
Well, we never stepped out. I'm still in cahoots with people. I'm still making plans. I'm still finding out what's going on. I can hurt all I want. Can't stop though.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we're gonna have to do that city mission before too long, or we're gonna miss our fucking window. Finally, brings up a hand to rub her face.
Remind me that one.
People disappearing.
Right.
The street folks. Joe had sent out rats. He told me found found the drugs, files and all. I think that tied into the Magic Train gang.
Right.
Either way, I don't know that they're the only ones making them disappear. And this rate, I'm about ready to just go piss on every fucking street corner and wait for someone to get mad enough to come out about it. You think I'm joking? I'm seriously
I
considering buying
I
water balloons.
I don't think you're kidding, which is
A big old toothy smile, like, oh, I'm thinking about it. Little more technically difficult in my case, but I feel like I could pull it off.
well,
Water
I mean,
balloons.
wear a skirt. Ugh, a thought just came to mind. By the way,
Oh yeah.
it does actually end up that we take on another Thurge, and it happens to be this Bordeaux. You said.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna be like a single sausage in like the world of clam. This is
Oh,
not gonna be good.
so hard being you,
Right.
surrounded by women.
Mm.
It must be tough.
It'll remind me way too much of home. All it was just me, my mom, and a bunch of aunts.
I mean, I bet your aunts never threatened to wash their laundry on your abs.
You'd be surprised.
I mean, one day I'm going to convince you to let me do it. I bet you I'll get out every stain.
It's I'm probably not gonna work out quite as well as all that. I mean, they're impressive, but they're
I mean, look at the she flails the head. Like, look at the definition.
yeah. Well, I mean, it also comes from not eating as much as I should. I'm constantly dehydrated, but it looks good.
I mean, on the one hand, you should probably drink more. On the other hand, I'm really not complaining. The view's great, especially from down here. Big old grin, just crosses one leg out over the other.
So,
Though, if we do take her in, this only presses the point. If she makes it into the pack, you're gonna need fucking connections.
yeah.
Because I clue you, if some of you guys are sprawling around here, this ain't shit on Wisconsin.
Spelling around. Sorry.
Flailing around.
Oh. Oh, I don't think anybody's flailing. Do you?
How comfortable are you with the other packs? Got any friends? Made any connections at all?
I'm friendly.
I mean, that's good. That's why I'm going to take you out to lunch one day and we're going to go to the restaurant and we're going to make some fucking friends. And have some good food. But making friends is good.
I don't disagree. I mean, it's not something I'm. I mean, we've worked with Jilted and Venomous. I feel as though I can trust having those folk at my back. But I'm not. I'm not gonna. I don't know. Maybe I'm just silly like that, but it's not a huge concern in my mind until we get established in our own skins, as it were. Maybe that's.
I don't know if you've noticed, but we're getting regard already.
Hmm? Are we?
Yeah. Yeah, we are. When people like the Eyes of Tyr actually sit and listen and put you in good regard for a story, for a deed, that isn't nothing. That thing we fought wasn't nothing.
Which thing?
Yes. She kind of sways the hands like, have you noticed? Like, yes.
No, mind
Fucking, Jormungandr's ugly love child.
Listen, nobody's gonna tell me different. That was Jorgemünder, and I killed it. So
Oh wow.
that's the story I'm sticking
I'm
with.
pretty sure if that's the case, you're pretty fucking well established there.
I'm just throwing it out there. That's the story I'm sticking to. Nobody named it. I named it. It's Jorgemünder. I killed it. I'm Thor. Enjoy. Um,
I mean,
hmm,
that's
wait, that's
exactly
not
how you spin it, and that's how we get the kudos.
that's not how. Oh wait, that's not how the story goes. It wasn't Jorgemünder. It was Balder, right? Balder killed her.
I fucking know it's not my mythology, it's yours.
You're supposed to pay attention to these sorts of things because
You're
I'm dumb and
supposed
I
to
don't
pay
know these
attention to
things.
these sorts of things in class too. I'm just saying if anyone should have paid attention.
I was too busy getting eaten by it.
I meant during cup training when Lena was telling us the fucking stories.
Uh, you know, you know how much sleep is required to have this kind of physique. It's very trying.
You fucking
Just
slept during story time? Really?
I might
You
might have
might
might
have just totally fucking slept. Jesus
have. I mean,
idiot.
not all of them, just some every now and again. Not to mention, you're eyeing up. You're sitting there, you're eyeing up Lena. You're just like, you know,
I'm
it's
just saying. That's definitely against the law they're getting.
oh, it's totally against the law. I mean,
I
I'm
mean,
not
but then again, if I'm gonna go by my own standards, looking is free. So
exactly. No shame in looking. Lena's a little thin for my taste, but hey,
damn. All right,
But
fuck it though. Here, hold on. Give me a hand. It just like puts up the actual hand she's got.
you put up a hand.
Yeah, she'll use him to hoist herself off the fucking ground. And like, oh thanks. Pulls herself up. We're gonna have a real moment here. You wanna know the actual strike three?
Yeah.
She tried to take him off me. And don't pretend that was nothing. She could have asked me to carry him outside. I hadn't let him go ever since we found him. She tried to take him off me like he was a toy. It was fucking disrespectful. And you know what? If Zuri hadn't stepped in, I was going to do some really inappropriate shit. But there is no excuse for that. Joe and I were close. And I was in no state for that. She barely fucking knew him. And she certainly didn't respect his wishes.
His hand would clasp over hers, and he'd pull her in tight. And I'm going to face because
Oh boy.
I it's way too bright. I need to back that sucker up a little bit, apparently. All right. And he would look dead at her. You were tight with Joe. And if it was done in disrespect, I support you. Wholeheartedly. If it was done because she saw past the gravity of what it was, then I support you. But if it was done because, as you said, there's the motherly want for her to protect you. Because you're not dead. Wait. I know.
I'm
I
gonna say
know.
that the high energy has like just shunk into like, I'm talking like black dwarf, like just.
I know. Then in that case, we're just running into the constant, ever consistent question of how our tribe works, and your tribe works, and her tribe works, and trying to work between the three of us, or all of us. Sometimes healing, sometimes coping is less about what we want versus what we need. It's that reason that I gave you and everyone the minutes that they were needed with Joe on their own. I know in my case, I would have tried to do it too. Because when we walked out of that mine, I wanted everyone to see us resolute
Then
and
here
not
you
defeated.
Okay.
Go ahead.
So 2 questions. First off, how would prying me off and trying to leave me there so that she could carry the body out in any way protect me when I would have been safest walking with others to carry the body out? When I was obviously in no state, when I hadn't let go so she picked us both up in the first place. Why then try to tear him out of my arms? How would that have made me resolute? And 2, at what point does intention matter when it comes to disrespect? Because I clue you. I looked up at Zuri yesterday, where she was perched, where she was staring. And you know what? She wasn't staring at me. Disrespect was dealt whether she likes it or not, and whether she attends it or not. Handling Joe like that was disrespectful. Trying to rip us apart was disrespectful. And it wasn't just to me and to him. Zuri's pissed. If she's still up there, take one good look. She's furious. Because that shit, at the risk of sounding ridiculous for quoting one of the Cubs, that shit was fucking unseemly. So, honestly, at this point, I don't care what the intentions were. There was nothing good that could have come out of what she tried to do. And if Zuri hadn't stepped in, it would have gotten a lot worse.
Okay. Well, if you feel like that, then better to let it not fester.
I don't intend to. Like I said, she's harder to find than you.
Now, in the meantime, until then, other than debauching your girlfriend and drinking, have you been eating, drinking
Yeah.
water,
Oh,
training?
I've been training.
Oh yeah? Other than your liver?
I mean, it's definitely part of the training.
You'd look at her hands. Let me see those hands.
She's got like you say hands. One is still growing and it's heavily bandaged, essentially. So you can't.
No. He would totally. Let me see your hands.
She,
The words.
it's one of those things where she puts up the hand and the bandage stump, like Like just the most dead face, like really?
Hand. You see that hand?
Oh yeah, sure. Puts one out like, oh yeah, no, go ahead.
No, it looks fresh and neat, and soft, supple. Looks like it could use a little bit of punching tree treatment.
You think I'm not doing it already? Regeneration's a
Uh,
hell of a drug.
uh, I'm just saying. Look at mine. Look at yours.
Yeah, you've stayed in Hamid since punching the tree.
I think there's work to be done. I think that shit needs to stick.
Well, there's the lip like.
I mean, unless Fiona are just a little bit softer.
Oh.
Hey, it's
Hey,
okay.
use you?
Hey,
Oh,
hey,
what? Don't think I don't see what you're doing.
it's
And
okay.
for two, obviously you haven't been fucking listening.
Hey, listen. You're right. You lost a hand. You're clearly suffering. It's fine. Do you want a pillow?
You know what? Fuck it. They're standing right in front of each other. She gives him a quick little like the gotcha pop in the like right in the belly, like just under the diaphragm, the little boop, just to see if she could get him to like suck a breath awkward, not to actually hurt him, just to make it weird, like dunk.
As you said, can you see these abs? You're gonna have to throw a little bit harder than that. All right, because I don't know. I'm sorry to say,
Yeah, but I can't bloody my
yeah,
knuckles on your abs, so
you're
just
throwing it, but
baby smooth.
well, shaving, admittedly, a manscape. It's important. It's an important thing to do, but
You would have been a hell of a fucking ragabash. You know that, right?
it's just always good to keep a good thing after any kind of situation.
Sense of humor.
Yeah,
One of those.
it's always good to smile during a tense time, just because it makes you feel better.
It works briefly.
Yeah. So.
For one, I promise you, I am not too baby soft for tree punching. Though I've been sticking to, the posts or stones because I don't piss off the urge that way. They get really miffed when you fuck with the trees.
Listen.
They say this is why the trees don't like us, and they get really up in arms about it.
Listen. All right. My hands are taking. As far as I'm concerned, I'm giving it a blood sacrifice, just for the right to sock it. All right.
Yeah, but you see this? You see that post over here? This one here, this is my post. This is the post that I use. You see this all over this like if she's trailing a finger like all these this here this is me.
That post that's a very clean post.
Bitch.
It's still standing. I mean, what are you? Are we men or are we mice?
I'm punching it on Hamid. It's not supposed to come out of the ground.
Oh God! You know what? That's
not the
just
fucking point.
That sounds like an excuse.
I mean, that sounds like an excuse for your tree to still be standing.
Have
but
you
here we are.
Kickboxer? All right. Listen, Van Damme knocked that tree down with his legs.
Well, then why aren't you getting on that?
Why isn't that post knocked down?
I mean, I feel like we've reached a catch-22 of neither of us can prove that we're better than the other because both our targets are still standing.
Punching Stumpy. I still have two hands. I'm sorry.
Stumpy, actually.
Clearly, I'm doing something right. You might have made a mistake somewhere.
Give it another 2 days.
You're right. Then you'll have a little finger to, diddle.
I mean... what is with you guys and the diddle jokes? Look, I don't have the toxic masculinity going. I don't need a comparison. I don't need it to look big compared to my baby hand. I promise you, it works fabulously as it is.
I'm sure it does. If I were a girl, I would never be more satisfied. You sure you don't want to keep it that way? I mean,
yet again, I nor anyone that I'm in cahoots with is a hand puppet. As she like wiggles the fingers of her good hand. A hand puppet. I mean, if you have a regular habit of, hot dates with hand puppets, don't let me sound like I'm judging. But
Hey, if a girl wants to be worked like a puppet, that's her business. I'm all for it. I don't care.
I mean, fair enough, fair enough. But not quite our Dougie. Dare I say? That is far more entertaining than it is functional. Looks great in the porn, not so much functional. That doesn't
Yeah.
work so good.
Yeah. You
I
sure?
promise you. Oh, I'm sure. I mean, unless you got a two-sided dildo hidden in there, not really.
Polishing mirrors. You got it.
God damn it!
Yeah. Right. Yeah. Whispering eye contact. Dueling wing bats. Bumping slugs.
Wow,
Sliced taco.
wow.
Caesar squeeze.
You really were in the military.
Slaughterhouse. Industrial shear. Pitchforking.
What the fuck?
Pink pancake.
I'm pretty sure you're making half of these up.
Slizzard. Bumping fur. The red crocodile.
No, keep going, keep going.
The vegan handshake. Russian flower. Corn swapping.
Where do you get these?
The
How
dirty
do
the dirty oven.
you know so many?
Scissor fist. Banana splits.
Oh my god. Don't ruin ice cream for me, Gideon.
Bean fracking.
Huh.
A grundle smooch. The gash smash.
I keep thinking you're gonna run out. It just keeps going.
The bohemian snake pit. Rub donuts.
I'm gonna stand by my stance of looks great in porn. Not so functional.
Persian rug burn.
Did you cover your mouth after that one?
Queef sandwich.
I'm gonna cover your mouth for you after that one.
Potato mashing.
She's just rolling the hand like, no, just keep going. Keep on.
A little scissor me timbers.
Wow.
Southern tornado.
I feel like you could even make Neri laugh, and that's an accomplishment.
Yeah, well, as I said, I've been in the military. We spend quite a bit of time doing this.
How many of them do you make up on the spot?
About a quarter.
About a quarter? If you got this many words for that one act,
Yes.
I kind of wonder, like, is this why you can't remember the stories? You're just memory banks? It's just full of terms? Like a sea of terms for every sex act known to man? Because if so, for one, I need to learn them. And for two, no wonder you can't remember the fucking stories.
Lock legs and swap gravy. And you're probably right.
Allow me to counter you. Thusly. Like, points with the finger to the face, like, thusly. Proceeds to stick out her tongue, poke the end of her nose, and has, like, the piercing mid-tongue just bloop. Works way better. Way better. Than some shit that looks really cute in porn. I see you need a minute to argue with this one.
No, I'm just going into all my euphemisms for cunnilingus.
It's a longer list than the last one, isn't it?
Oh, there's quite a few. It's like being a cunning linguist, you know,
Yeah, everyone's heard that.
eat the fish, cleaning the carpet, you know, clam diving,
Oh yeah. You got to come up with ones I haven't heard before, though.
parcel tongue.
Well, what is the snort? Yeah, impress me. Go on.
Yodel in the gully. That's
You
a
can do
good
better.
one.
You can do better.
Florida feedback. Romanian handshake.
Sorry, the background got me.
Peach gobbler. Rap on the mic. Fellatio ratio. Clam dabble.
I don't think you get points for reusing clam.
Mongolian beef eater. Paying lip service. The
like
Selic.
He does a little fucking mustache gesture. God damn it.
Oh. I mean, there's one if you want patriotic. Kissing Abraham Lincoln. Or the hot Rhonda.
Oh, but I'm not American. Sorry.
Ugh.
Not feeling that patriotic. I like paying lip service, though. That's good. That makes me happy. God, I'm going to use that conversationally now. All the time.
Oh,
Ugh,
feel free. Feel free.
I'll know. You'll know. And that's really all I need. Come on. Come on. If it made you laugh without even saying it, come on.
I'm just going over about how awkward this conversation would be from outside ears.
Look,
Box munching by proxy.
by proxy.
Growling at the badger. Smashing the Harry Duke.
I don't know. I feel like using smashing's misleading.
Chin duster.
Shaking her head. Are you cheating?
No. So, all things aside.
Well, that was a pretty effective way to turn the mood in the room. Good job.
A little bit.
You kept me going for a hot minute.
So, in the meantime, who do you think would be a good person for me to speak to
Mm,
if I'm going to establish a contact, as it were?
you mean make friends?
Yeah, make friends.
I'd say for one, keep chatting up the eyes of tear. That's a good fucking move.
Those are the guys with the shields, right?
Yeah, they're the ones that taught us the maneuver.
Yeah.
They're no slouch, no joke. Keeping chatting with them is good. I mean, you haven't even been to any of Adrian and Ingram's parties, have you?
Who?
Adrian, Ingram, Neil, the group that Becca keeps talking to. The boys. Adrian, the happiest giant tattooed man in the universe.
No.
Yeah, well, for one, they throw great parties. For two, they're connected to fucking everything.
Yeah. Yeah. No. I mean, I don't really tend to go to parties.
I mean, shame on you. You're lost, though.
I've been focused.
Huh?
Yeah.
I'm punching trees?
Oh yeah, punching trees, punching people, that sort of thing. Got to put coin in my pocket. Man's got to eat. Those bombs aren't free.
Honestly, they're a good start. I mean, they're actually a lot better than a good start. The Azoteer are no fucking joke. But just go talk to people maybe between training. Go hang out at the beer garden. Strike up a conversation. Go hang out at the restaurant. Strike up a conversation. You're actually pretty good at talking to people, Gideon.
Yeah, but doesn't that?
I shouldn't have to pat you on the butt.
Yeah, but it just doesn't it feel like I don't know.
I mean, it's also earnestly making friends, which is not a bad thing. Besides, look, I'm good with Jilted and Venomous. We're chill as fuck. But that means when Jilted and Venomous hear some shit is going down, and they get the first in on it, we get an in on it.
Hmm.
It also means when we want to go do some shit that's real suited to them, we give them the in on it. Help each other out. We're all cruising for fucking Foster.
You're right. I mean, I approach this way too much with a military mindset. In my head, it's kind of like, well, we're all fighting, we're all fighting in the same army, so that kind of mentality. But
I
you're
mean,
probably right.
does that work or not work? Because, like, yeah, we're all fighting in the same army, but your buds are your buds. The people who will actually hook you up are the people who will hook you up, and you hook them up. It's it's the same as anything. It's like the point I was making earlier. Like, yes, Maria and Damon are my siblings, but it's not as though Leaf, Sylvia, all of them don't also reach out when I'm hurting because there's a connection there. We're friends. It's good to have friends. And you know what? If something happens with one of them, I'll do the same thing. I'm not talking like weaponize what happened. I'm going to go around and talk to a couple people because, I mean, shit, I don't know what it looks like when Heidi cries, but I bet it throws everyone within a square mile. And I'm sure she's upset. The girls are really fond of Joe. Fucking Team Cupcake's never going to be the same. Besides, I clue you. It's not like I'm going to forget the people who reached out, even if they couldn't understand what I'm going through. Even if they don't understand what it feels like, even if they do. It's not like they know exactly how Joe and I were. But I'm still going to remember that they tried. Earnestly tried.
Does that make you feel better?
She kind of tips her head a bit. Little avian quirk. What do you mean?
Being around people that are also feeling the way you do.
Not exactly. But it is still nice, just on a, people level. When people say they're there for you, even if they don't know what to do with it. I mean, bless her fucking heart, Sylvia really tried. She didn't pretend she understood, but she was nice. And she went out of her way. It wasn't some underhanded bullshit. It was just her earnestly trying to be nice to someone who's hurt. Or to her packmates, her husband's packmate's sister, whatever the connection is, it still matters. I mean, I get that all of this. She like twirls the hand like, all of this. This is a whole lot of crazy. And we just do it really fast. Because we have to. Or we die. But it's not like you stop giving a shit about normal people things too.
Takes time. Kind of hard to remember that part.
And it tips the head.
Once you go into the world and you start learning about all these things that you're supposed to be, all these things that you're supposed to do. Hell bent on making things right.
It changes shit. It really changes shit.
Getting back at somebody for problems that weren't even your own.
It's another little again, it's like an almost avian little quirk of the head. Very inquisitive. Whose problem she trying to fix?
Everybody's.
Oh, your laundry list must be as long as mine then.
Yeah. Yeah.
You think there's anything left to find? Where they she kind of gestures off in the appropriate direction. What was it, like northwest, northeast?
The
Where they
mine.
got a hold of me.
What was that?
Where they got a hold of me. You think there's anything left to find, really?
I think that place was poured over with a pretty fine tooth comb.
Just felt like kind of a thoughtful tip of the head, not in regards to getting just like a moment of like, wait a minute, we're going skyward. They still haven't caught it.
Nope.
We would have heard something.
Eagle does owe us.
Yeah.
We should go talk to him.
Might be hard to pull off.
Grab
Unless
that. Grab that silver fang. If she gives you any guff,
Doubtful. Besides, Eagle would be right up her alley, wouldn't it?
maybe.
Falcon's brood.
Yeah, you got a point. Yeah, we gotta have a word with Eagle and find out what the fuck is going on.
I mean, if it doesn't fly over, they won't be able to even try for it, but we could at least find out if it's skimming past, if they've seen it. I wish I knew everything, all the tricks Joe had been using. I know he was using the wind. That's all we knew about the sun. I haven't put two and two together because I'm an idiot, but I did go back to the city. I'm sure the sun is fucking lost in the sauce, even if they're still there, because it's a fucking city. But we could at least kind of look around.
I'm down.
So if I come up with a fantastical harebrained scheme, you aim to be my accomplice. Gotta
That's-
have an accomplice.
It's not even a question. You're gonna need, all hands on deck.
Beautiful. I just want this series of jokes to never die, so that Siren just slowly dies inside over time. I'm pretty sure I almost killed her in the kitchen. She wasn't ready. All right. Well, I mean, you can go back to pissing off Theurges if you like. You might want to
No.
stop that when I bring the Theurge, back over. But
My hands have gotten a pretty good lumping.
good lumping.
Mm-hmm.
Are you trying to do anything besides break your hands? Judge, I do it.
No, it's just to kind of releases. The worst part about this whole thing is that the want to just go out and do what needs to be done isn't there. I can't just go and do what I want to do.
No, but with a conspiracy buddy, you can get out and do a lot more than you're doing now.
Mm-hmm.
A little settle up like We'll open it.
Yeah. Yes, of course. I will. As I said, I'm up for it, and I meant that.
I mean, if you get any ideas of your own, like I said, I'll hook us up. I don't like sitting idle.
I want to get intel from Eagle. I want to find out what's going on with that.
All right, let me go see if I can find Fancy Pants. Shouldn't be too hard.
The fact of the matter is that they cut us. So I want to cut them.
Oh, well, we're going to do so much more than cut them.
Yeah,
You
but
know what? Like I said, and I don't remember if I said it to you, people can do whatever they want with the other ones. I just want that one.
We're not doing that. You know that. We're not doing honor duels on this.
I'm not talking honor duel.
Hey,
they don't get honor.
If you can work your way past me and kick that and kill that motherfucker,
I'll climb on you if I have to. I don't give a shit.
then it's all yours. But We ain't doing the whole "this one's mine" now. Okay, I get it. Joe was your girl. Joe was your boy.
You really are about this whole just random genders thrown to the wind. What?
Yeah, gender's just a construct.
Uh,
But
he was. Then again, he's not the one they cut. I just want him for a little while.
we're gonna get him. And it doesn't matter who gets him, as long as they get got.
You're like a little lip lick, like, I see. I'm not changing your mind. Not, I agree with you. Just okay.
I don't disagree with you though. I understand the sentiment. I want it more than anybody else, and it's not because me and Joe were particularly close. It's because it doesn't matter if me and Joe weren't close. Joe was one
Oh
of
no,
us.
that one's free for all.
Mm-hmm.
As they die. But when it
Yeah.
comes to that osprey, I just want him for a minute.
Oh, him? All yours.
I mean, you were talking about the Eagles. Who did you think we were talking about? The Eagles aren't looking for them.
I thought you were talking about. Oh no, fucking go for it. No, it's Osprey. Yes, you could beat that motherfucker against the wall. It's all yours. I don't give a shit.
It just does like the idle scritch over like the scar. Like I just want this one.
Okay,
That other one, no,
let's do.
torn to pieces.
That's fine. I'm good with it. I think we've seen eye to eye in this.
Oh yeah.
Okay then.
You know what? Let me see if I can be that guy real fast. Multi-purpose. A bloop for him. And a bloop for him. Yeah, fuck it. Just I mean, you can follow along, you can chill here, but I'm gonna go find Fancy Pants.
Let's go get pants. Fancy pants.
Yep,
I almost said pantsy pants.
Fancy Pants.
I almost said that.
That would have been embarrassing.
Yeah,
Imagine
you. I'm not.
having to hear that. I would have definitely been secondhand embarrassed for you.
I'm not here for. Listen, I am paid to lead, not to read. Okay.
You're right, but that's okay. You're good at that thing that I actually care about you doing. So and you're pretty. Just pat. You're so pretty. The fuck? How old is he again? I know there's a hilarious age gap compared to the rest.
He's older. I haven't like.
I think most of us are around like 20-ish.
Yeah, he's like 25, 24.
Yeah, something like that. Got a good
25?
like 4 or 5 year gap there. Not
Something.
enough to matter at this age, but still the pepette and so pretty.
So
Well, there's one. Which is convenient because we're on the hunt for your booty. Where
I
you
mean,
at?
do it. What? Yeah.
Where you at, girl?
She probably just finished patrols because that's what she was doing
Oh,
at the
that's
time.
right. She get told to do that.
Yeah. So she's probably just finished up her Umbral patrol.
Beautiful.
And I mean, for ease of access, we can just say she's like grabbing a drink in the public housing because that seems like an easy thing to do.
Oh yeah, I figured she'd either recall to the public housing or recall to the fucking Ravens cabin.
Mm-hmm.
Public housing's a good bet. Fuck it.
And it's easier than like you guys just showing up on like pack territory and be like, "Hey."
I mean, that's my sister's pack. I can do that. She does swing by just to like do a little peek in, like, hey, oh, never mind. Bye. Just skitter, skitter, skitter.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, Mary Alice is just like getting a drink of water at the public housing. Like, God damn this patrol.
And it's one of those things where, like, as they're walking over and getting to the public housing, even spotting her through the window, it's like, there she is, the one that looks like she could blow away. That's the one.
Dear God, she's thin.
Oh, I hope you're ready for the fancy. Brace yourself.
That's a lot of leg.
It is a lot of leg.
All right. Anyway,
So pretty. She's opening the door.
you know who she kind of reminds me of?
Huh?
Sylvie.
Sylvie.
Not her.
Sylvia?
I'm sorry, the other girl, the one that Becca almost got into a fist fight with, or got a little weird around.
What, you mean Freya?
No.
I mean, she got really weird.
No. The one with the husband that's the truth catcher.
Sylvia, yeah.
Yeah, that's who kind of reminds me. I don't know why. It's like it got the very British features to it. I don't know why.
I mean, like I said, they're friends and all, so you
I
know.
don't- Hey, listen, I just kind of have a feeling that if she looked at me and she said naughty, I might actually get a little creamy in the chest.
God, I hope she does now. That would be amazing. And she's doing what the next time Mary Alice happens to turn around is
Mhm.
like, oh hey, across
Just
the room.
turns around, just like the hair, like, "Oh, hello, Kira.
Afternoon.
And who is your friend?"
I'm Gideon. It's nice to
Very-
meet you.
It's very nice to meet you, Gideon. I am Mary Alice Bordeaux. Clea Theurge of Falcon, born on 2 legs, blood of houseworm foe. That's enough for now.
Well, it's a pleasure to meet you. She's told me a little bit about you. We're about to actually have a meeting with, I think one of your brood. And frankly, I don't speak bird.
For what reason?
Little hand pop on the back, like, oh my god, like through the link is just like, oh my god, actually give her the whole fucking 9. Jesus.
Perhaps we should find somewhere to sit.
Yeah, why not? I mean, there's a nice chair right over there.
Oh, well, I take it this isn't a private conversation then. And she'll go to sit down because
Oh yeah, no. I mean, who are we hiding from?
I'll give this for Kira. Mary Alice is harder to read than she was yesterday.
Not that she was especially easy to read before. It's just Kira, is assessing, and I'm not gonna land. The link is like, oh yeah, and my name's Gideon. Full proper introduction to my name's Gideon.
So, what can I do for you both? You said you needed to speak to one of my brood.
Yeah, we actually had a conversation. Well, we as in our pack had a conversation with Eagle not too long ago. He requested heads. We gave him heads. In return, he was supposed to kick the living shit out of an osprey, and
He was, well, yes. Essentially, we were just hoping to see if they'd even seen the spirit they're supposed to be bringing to ground. Because I imagine if it had happened, we would have heard about it by now.
Torna, Mary Alice will spend gnosis.
And as I said, I don't speak bird.
It's just like that little, like you mentioned, Osprey, and she just kind of like takes a sip of water, like, oh, interesting. I didn't know that an osprey spirit could be found around here. They're coastal birds, you know.
You know, we've been told that.
Oh yeah.
So it's very interesting that one would be seen anywhere near here. But if you're hoping to simply speak to Eagle, I do have, well,
We just really need a translator, if you don't mind.
of course. Shall we? Can you make your, I'm assuming you can make your own way across.
Mm.
And where would be the best place here?
You remember? Well, I haven't. You remember where the Dumbledore's place is?
I think I've walked by it once, yes.
That seems to be the best place.
I mean, yeah, she'll just like set her water down and start walking outside.
So, Mary Alice, right?
That's correct, yes.
Do you prefer the full thing, or do you prefer Mary Alice?
Oh, my mother couldn't choose between the two names, so she just chose both.
Which
You
one
can
do
call
you
me
like?
Mary if you like.
All right, Mary. I like it.
And you're, I mean, I'm assuming you're Trueborn?
Yeah, yeah.
What tribe?
He'd kind of like pull one of these, like, you know. Hold on a moment.
Like rubbing her face, like, oh my god. Like,
He-
you're
he-
embarrassing me in front of the
he'd
fancy
pull
girl.
one of these, just like, you can't tell.
I mean, if you're asking me which tribe I think is the most handsome, it would be my own.
Oh, oh.
That's what you get for being rude.
Get a Fenris. Actually, you know what? You know what? This is one of these occasions where it's probably best to do this the full shebang.
Girl looks like just constipated. Like,
Mary Alice just like turns a little more and like crosses her arms, like, okay.
Mary Alice, my name is Gideon Kincaid. I'm the beta of the Last Stand. Born on 2 legs, under the full moon. Mark is blanking for a second.
Son of Fenris.
Give me a fucking second! Son of Fenris. And goes by the and I go by the deed name of Rook.
Mary Alice drops into a deep curtsy. And she says, well, if we are to make formal introductions, my name is Mary Alice Bordeaux, Cleotheurge of Falcon and blood of House Wormfoe. I am daughter of Halianne Bordeaux, Adrian Theurge of Falcon, niece to Morgan Bordeaux, king of the court of Wisconsin, and Athro Theurge of Falcon, sister to Victoria Bordeaux, right mistress of the court of Wisconsin, and Adrian Theurge of Falcon, and cousin to Daniel Bordeaux, Adrian Arun of Falcon. It is a pleasure to make your acquaintance.
Man, that's just really, really, really cool sounding.
I assure you, it is.
I like it. I like it.
And that's the kind of bravado you can expect Eagle to enjoy as well.
I'll have to work on my my script.
Don't we all? As she just like transitions into the umbrella, like, whew.
He'd look at Kira just like, ooh, how's Falcon?
I told you it was fucking fancy.
Yeah, very fancy pants.
Oh, like eyebrow waggle and 2 slides.
In we go.
In the Umbra, it's like Mary Alice has a greater aura of magnetic personality. There's like a regality to her. And there are elements of like feathers that can be found through her hair, and her eyes have turned into like falcon eyes. So it's like that really wide pupil. And she's kind of like looking over at Gideon and Kira, like, I wonder if I see any spiritual heritage.
I'm pretty sure you have to look pretty fucking hard to spot Kira's. It's fucking. He's teeny.
No spirit heritage on Gideon.
I would have to ask Torna what the role is to even spot that shit, but I know some people have spotted it.
Perception, primal urge.
No, I mean, I'll just take a look. Why not?
Little sneaky peek.
3 successes.
That's it. Go bit of her spirit heritage.
Yeah, Mary Alice, she's like the big like falcon-esque eyes just kind of look at Kira for a moment. I bet you like dark feathered birds.
I mean, who doesn't?
There is a certain resemblance. I myself
Fucking
am
hair
a
flip.
bearer of Falcon's blessing.
Beautiful.
Anyway, I believe, is it right this way to the Den Mother's home?
Yeah. I mean,
She like
Kira
points
will
off in the
stop.
wrong direction.
Kira will kind of gesture, the come on and go ahead and turn to lead along.
She'll follow.
Eventually, like you'll see like umber reflection of the Den Mother's home, which is like a basic like sort of cabin. But you'll see one of the big birds on top of it like flap up into the sky as you're coming up, and like the light reflects off its feathers and shit. Like kind of hovering above you. There's about one smaller series of like eagle spirits that look like younger, kind of only like barely jagglings. Then there's a big one.
Mm-hmm.
There you go. There's his entrance music.
Mary Alice does curtsy deeply because that's the banner totem of her house. So, but she also does like pounds her fist against her chest twice and like just throws up deuces because that's what Eagle enjoys.
Yeah, I mean, Eagle just flies around you for a bit, assessing, and then lands just right in front of Mary Alice with this. Boom.
One thing I want to make certain:
Uh-huh.
are we making canon the fact that all Eagle is gangsta as fuck?
Yeah.
Yeah. I have made that canon.
All right,
I
I'm
have
in.
made that canon.
Eagle is officially DMX.
Yeah.
I
Then
made
in
that
Pack-
gangster
Then
shit.
in Pack Link, he would say to Kira, "Did she just throw deuces towards Eagle?"
Oh yeah, he loves that shit.
No shit.
You should have been here last time. You missed out.
I didn't know he was down.
Go down. You don't even know.
Yeah, and
Mary-
eventually the bird kind of tilts his head, like it kind of like stands up a bit straighter, like that. And here, what y'all motherfuckers want? Which is to Gideon and Kira just you know what I mean? Really aggressively,
Go! Fucking.
Eagle, nice to see you again.
Yeah.
Anyway, these motherfuckers want to talk to you about some ospreys.
Oh, those motherfuckers? Yeah, we got them motherfuckers. Yeah, shit. Right up on bitch. They thought they could come up on my northern spot? Me and the boys. And the guys back here, yeah! You know what I mean? All the birds, bopping their heads up and down.
She just looks at Kira and Gideon. They got them.
Oh.
Kind of spreads his arms out as well. The wingspan, just you know what I mean, making himself look as big as possible. This one motherfucker is big.
Which
Did
is
you
fucking big.
Did you need me to acquire a location?
Yeah, is there anything left of it?
Yo, is there anything left of that shit?
He's like this head tilt. Nah, man, what you fucking think this is? Do you think this is Hawk's business? I ain't no bitch. I tore them motherfuckers apart. I could get their heads for you, but they're mine.
They tore them apart.
Wait, them, so like more than one?
Yo, you said more than one?
About two of the motherfuckers. One skinny and one kind of fatty. It was the fat one we run down first. Big Papa over there, glances back at this kind of fatter one.
Mm-hmm.
Here, yeah, I got the motherfucker.
Yes, two of them, apparently.
Holy shit. Uh,
Ripped apart by every description, except for the heads.
well, that checks out. Did they spot any others? Has there been nothing since those two?
Yo, there been any others all around?
Nah, motherfuckers got shook after that. Though we did see, like, one that was kind of flapping really fucking fast. That motherfucker looked painted, though. He didn't come near Step Grounds. Won't come near that shit. He knows what's gonna happen. You get shook, son. Shook.
Shook.
Yeah,
Motherfucker probably pissed himself. Got it raining down on the trees.
The bird just kind of does this like snapping sound. You know what I mean?
Which direction?
Yeah, I mean it's hard for a bird to just kind of point, so he just flaps up a bit, like just ascends, like really.
Yeah.
I mean, for as thug as he is, he's regal, motherfucker, regal.
Mm-hmm.
As he flaps up and kind of does this swooping like thing, going this way, motherfucker. Just takes off.
Yeah. North. Apparently there was another one, but it flew north. It wouldn't approach Sept Grounds.
I mean, sounds smart on its part. Not ideal, but
I mean, you see also the other four eagles start ascending off with it as well. The boys are like on patrol essentially.
are they actually like going as opposed to just kind of pointing the way and then flapping back down?
I mean, no, he's like, this way, motherfucker. The birds just ascend with him and start like leading you where exactly they saw it.
Oh.
Eagle doesn't do no halfway shit.
All right, time to go.
Mary Alice melts down into a beautiful silver white lupus and just runs.
Yeah, Carol fucking melt onto Lupus, make it easier to keep up.
You notice they kind of tilt their head to like the direction flying kind of northwest as you kind of come across a familiar border zone where you and Joe ran to, Kira. And they kind of flop into the trees, and then this big motherfucker just lands right down the open pathway. Just poof. Saw him about that way. Went up that way, flew around it. We kind of stayed around it. His two boys got to about scratches in the ground where about here.
They say that it flew off further in a northwest direction.
Yeah, that's by the wind took it.
Now, would it be a survival roll, like with survival, to know what's in that direction?
Yes.
All right.
I assume at the very bare minimum, Kira can be like, I mean, shit, this is the way it was flying last time.
Pulling up my sheet.
Remember, you get like +5 dice from Winter Wolf and Reindeer combined.
Yep. 6. Okay, so that's 9 dice. Two successes.
It's heading towards the original. Wherever they saw it was near the original ambush site, but it's obviously pushed further back. It's not heading towards the mine town. It's actually heading past that and almost using that. What you notice, it's much like what you found similarly. They're using the mining town as probably a way to draw you guys that way and get off their scent. It's heading further north past that.
Kira, do you know what's further north than the mine town?
What would it be to consult my cub lessons?
Intelligence survival.
Okay.
Take the dice.
I take these dice. They might know.
It's just like, I pass these dice to you.
Yes. I take this.
Mary Alice is just like, what the fuck are dice? What's happening?
Yeah, don't worry about it.
Don't even worry about it. Oh, not there. That's not where I roll.
Kira, so smart.
Depending on diff, if it's standard, that's 3.
Push further north enough, you're eventually going to be reaching the dead zone.
Oh. So Leia, like, pops her head up. I mean, the only thing I know about that way is the dead zone.
The dead zone?
Did you fall asleep through all of our classes?
Do you want me to answer that honestly?
No.
Okay.
I'll,
Yeah, no, I remember. It's the
as I pull up this common knowledge right up.
Sunnydale and
Yeah.
like Ericsburg.
Yeah.
Right?
Mhm.
It's that big ass bridge, ain't it?
Is it a bridge or just a road?
There's a bridge leading between the two towns of Ericsburg and Sunnydale. If go to the R20, there's the bridge.
Sorry, I remembered putting it on the map. I just didn't realize it was a bridge as opposed to a road. My
There's
bad.
one in the R20.
I will pull up the roll 20 like a good girl. But yeah. That's the dead zone. I mean, it's the only landmark I know out that way. You go past that and it kind of gets hairy.
Then it sounds as though your pack may have need to travel to the dead zone. If you're trying to track this spirit.
Mm,
Though from my understanding from what the warder said, you'd need her permission for that.
yep. And that is a hell of a case to pull, so we'll have to have a good talk over that one before we even try to present it.
Is there anything else you'd like me to ask of Eagle?
No, just thank him, please.
Hey!
I can understand.
Yeah, the other kind of large eagle gets up, and this much more like slimmer, more like hunter-like one just lands down beside you. Sup?
These motherfuckers say thank you for all you've done.
Yeah, they passed the boss's challenge. They got the heads up. We see that. Don't worry, we feel that. We like that shit.
I know you do.
Oh, hey, oh, whoa, falcon bitch. Like
Hey.
flaps up right in front of your face, like poof, like hovering. One of those bitches smelled like you. It's all red hair and shit. Keep an eye on that shit. We know who
Yeah.
you're working with. You know, it just flaps off.
Well, seems like that's about everything unless you need anything else.
Oh, thanks. I appreciate the translation.
They ain't gonna be ain't gonna be pissed if we ask them to send a message along, would they?
Depends on who you want them to send the message to. We haven't asked them to bypass the fucking border.
There's a northern I mean, that far north, it's like by the north. It's by the Northern Protectorate, right?
I mean, we're already past the protectorate. Or at least standing at the border of.
You're getting near Wolfsmaw at that point.
That's what I mean.
Like that's well past, yeah.
I mean, I don't know about you, but if they're up that way,
That's one we should probably do through the right people.
so probably not a good idea to ask Eagle to be like, yo, let them know that we might be coming down. Or up, in this case.
That is one where we get the permissions and get one of the Get to send a message. You know, P's and Q's.
I mean,
Got it. All right. Then, yeah, I think we're good.
Right. Well, it was a pleasure helping.
Yeah, just a little polite head bob.
He'd offer a bow of his head towards the biggest eagle.
Oh, yeah, that big motherfucker. Yeah, you just see him do this bird head tilt. You know what I mean? It's kind of like, oh yeah, yeah, boy. His other eagles kind of squawk at you as well. Mary asking here, like, that motherfucker thick. You know what I mean?
Oh my god. They complimented your body, Gideon.
Oh, thanks.
Mm.
I like their plumage.
Yo!
Yo! They
This
all turn,
motherfucker
like-
says he likes your plumage!
Yeah, I
Yo,
mean-
shit! I like that.
you can literally see them do like the bird equivalent of the crip walk on the fucking branch. It's like, yeah.
Dear Christ.
I've wanted to do this version of Eagle for so long.
Just because I'm here, Torna, can I make a bit of a have a look around?
Mm-hmm. What are you looking for?
Just anything that, might still be here, any trace.
There is a lot of like spiritual energy of what they
Mhm.
obviously consumed and ripped apart. They showed no mercy to whatever this thing is because if you remember, they didn't
Mhm.
say you didn't say nothing about bringing it back alive.
Nope.
Feathers?
Just feathers, yeah, little idle bits of like you can see one just floating off with branches with blood, like
Little-
noses blood over it.
Little spirit like feather down just
Mm-hmm.
You'd go
Well-
and collect a few of the feathers. Like some of the bigger ones.
They look like faded in color as well, which you can tell that they these spirits consumed them essentially. Like this is our shit, but you can definitely feel it. It's like, whew, oh dear.
actually. I'm gonna Gideon's gonna do his thing. I'm gonna go over and stuff my nose in him.
They smell like spirit, things. Like smell like ospreys. Like they have a distinctive kind of watery like texture to their feather. They're distinctive like dampness.
Yeah, it's one of those things where she just wants to get a good sample. Just to have a point of comparison that she might remember later.
He's just gonna take a couple of the choicer feathers and walk back.
For Mary Alice and anyone
Mhm.
else who's observant, you can roll as well to see another spirit observing this whole thing.
Oh,
What role would that be?
Perception alertness.
Will do. And that sounds like it's site-based, so I'm
Yes.
going to assume
Yes.
that it is.
Yes.
Depending on the difficulty, 2 to 4 successes for me.
is it standard?
Yes.
Okay, then 4 for me.
Choo.
Okay, you will see this motherfucker. All the eagles are kind of bopping off and doing their thing, It's a hot. You would know that Miss Mary Alice is a hawk spirit. Just like with this, like you all see this much more elaborate look. Maybe it's an eagle. You're not quite sure. Mary Alice would know what it is, but Gideon and Kiri, you all see kind of just doing this curious, like, what you doing? It's that type of like peer.
One of those things where that's smaller than an eagle, but fuck if I know what it is.
It looks
Bird brain.
slimmer, slicker. You know what I mean? Definitely not as like bumping as a big as the eagles are, but that beak is particularly razor sharp looking.
Okay. Just a
You'd
curious.
approach.
Cool.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it tilts its head at you as you're approaching with this little peer down the branches. It's high up, so it's like, I got to hide on this, and kind of just peers down, like,
And he just kind of, he sees how these people operate for the most part, so he just kind of I don't think you can understand me, but he'd extend a hand with I don't know, like gnosis.
Yeah, there's like the beak kind of. He flies down, much more fluid than the eagle. The eagle does ascends, with the big whoosh of the wings. He just like swifter, So he kind of plucks the nose with his little talons and then lands on the second branch and kind of just peers up and just pecks at it a few times with his beak and swallows it. And you can see him kind of, his feathers kind of heighten a bit. They kind of darken and then heighten. And then you hear, "Thank you."
Ah!
And I understood that.
Yes.
Oh.
You fed him, made him happy. I'm assuming I don't. I'm just hearing caca.
Yeah, you just his is much more smoother. Like it's a bit more distinctive. It says barky. You know what I mean? It's more like a higher pitch. You know what I mean?
Now I am gonna in survival to understand what I'm looking at. Just
Mhm.
you know,
Actually, Kira, for what you notice is his bird, his sound is a bit more like, "Ooh, that's not nice." You know what I mean? It's designed to like almost intimidate other birds.
I mean, she's just watching, bold of the Arun, but you know what? He hasn't gotten bitten yet. She'll take a glance over at Mary Alice just to see what her reaction is, because that's very bold.
5 successes.
Mary Alice is just kind of melted up to helmet for right now, just watching.
That's one of the local breeds of hawk.
It's a pleasure to see you here, honored hawk.
Well, this is where I belong. As much as the eagles boast and posturize, I've always been here.
And did you witness the attack on Osprey?
I may have. You know, like looking at his talons, like, oh, I may have.
I can only assume that a predator understands far better than any. Do you have any observances of their prey? Anything that they might not have noticed?
Well, ospreys never travel far from their handlers. Maybe, depending on who's holding and who's not. But then again, handlers are such a tricky thing to find. They pick some like a worm coming up one of the trees, like ah, and then just swallows it very brutally, and then just straightens up in this refined posture again.
Well,
But the question would be, why are you so interested in Osprey, son of Fenrir?
we are under the impression that Osprey is operating here for our enemy.
He kind of tilts his head over at Mary Alice with his and then looks back at Gideon, you know.
And has been a concern of mine that, given the sense that I've come across and the spirits that I've seen, that one of them might very well be Falcon's brood.
May have been. Oh, that is dangerous, you could say. And what you intend to do with these ospreys?
Track them, find out where they're going, kill their handlers.
All of you?
Yeah.
Look at, you know, a little curious, like beaky head tilt. But you can't find them, obviously.
That is the unfortunate.
And that is why Eagle, as boisterous as he is, never does quite find what he needs.
Perhaps we need a better hunter.
Perhaps. But depending on what you're offering, the hunter may agree or disagree. Depends on how ripe the picking is. After all, unfortunately, I was too late. The loud, boisterous, proud eagles looks right into Mary Alice's eye like, yeah, I'm looking at you, bitch. I see you.
She just waves like hi.
Hi.
I don't believe you to be the type that wants head staked on a stick.
No, I grew out of that. I prefer to eat my prey rather than parade it around. Just idly plucking some of his talons and cleaning some of his feathers, like, it must be perfect.
What I kill for the next moon, I will bring for you to consume.
Oh, just for me.
Just for you.
Do you think I cannot hunt my own prey?
I don't. I do believe that you are a fine hunter. But a hunter conserves. A hunter goes for the prey that is most certain. And a hunter is the type to see benefit in taking the simplest course to gain what they need.
Hmm? It's not the souls I need. Oh no, ospreys have a tendency to corrupt rather than satisfy. No, what I would like from you, if you're offering, of course. There's like a beaky head tilt of this predatory stare at Mary Alice, like, you can intervene any one time you want, Theurge, but I'm enjoying this. I need their secrets. What is the osprey hiding from me? For I am not eagle. I need to consume secrets just as much as I need flesh.
Mm.
He would look to the Thurge.
Do not be so eager to feed exactly what they ask for. Spirits will, well, they'll try to take as much as they can. It's in their nature. They need more of what they are to survive. You already offered a whole moon. That is a very long time.
That is true.
Especially since all you're really asking it to do is, well,
In its
watch.
nature.
You're not asking it to hunt anything for you. You're not asking it to endanger itself. You don't need to give it an entire moon.
I'm not a lord. I don't trade in secrets. I trade in blood.
All secrets come with blood. That is the nature of secrets, and lies and sin. Which are you willing to pay for it? Blood, lies, or sin?
You're already planning on hunting whoever's doing this, right, Gideon?
Yes.
Do you plan on taking any of them alive?
If I can, but it is not a certainty.
And probably temporarily at that.
The reality is, you're dealing with an inquisitor right now. Torture the information out of someone, get it from them that way. And I'm sure that Hawk would be very pleased.
You hear the bird, like, flapping its wings. I may be pleased. Depending on what you do. For brute force is necessary in the right application, just as much as ingenuity.
If we take one alive, and you have my word that if the opportunity is offered or able, I will do it, then I will offer you any secret that we can take from it.
Well then, your word. Well, should you take one alive, I will of course accept. Should you not, ospreys do leave nests, eggs. That would be where I would start. If you cannot get one beating for me.
He'd look to the third once more to see if seems a fair deal.
He already said, well, it already said that it is a cunning hunter. It doesn't need you to bring it eggs. You don't have to be its servant.
I will tell you where the osprey stows its eggs, but I will not bring them for you.
Ah, the falcon is helping the wolf. Very well. Like it just Joe just like looks at Mary Alice like I'll remember that. That's that like predatory stare. Very well. I will be ever watchful. For I see things that not even you could dream of.
I believe you. And I thank you.
We are all in service to the same thing. Purification. And it just flaps away, just
That was kind of cool.
So anyone want to run by me what the fuck just happened?
I just made a deal with Hawk.
Glance over at the Therage. Was that a good idea?
All your packmate asked was for Hawk to watch. Hawk was already going to watch. This just means that you'll get its help.
Alright.
And besides, your packmate just ensured that you'll be bringing one in alive, and I'm sure that if he is not a capable man at extracting information, I'm sure that you are. After all, it's your job to provide lessons.
Just vibrates and oh.
We needed a sacrifice for Cedric anyway. And I want to see them pay for what they've done. Thank you, Mary Alice. You didn't have to do that, but I appreciate it.
There's no reason for either of you to be stuck with a deal that isn't fair.
Agreed. But I mean, to go and assist with one of your own brood, I can't imagine that that they'd be entirely happy about that.
The games that Hawk plays, they've been playing them for a very long time, and I am not a hawk, I am an eagle. So sometimes I'm a bit boisterous and loud myself.
It was a little slow muzzle turn like really.
Well,
Using little tongue roll because I mean she saw the boozing.
And beyond all that, I am a child of Vulcan. And he ranks higher than any other. Just be careful. It sounds like you're going to get yourselves into quite a lot of danger.
I mean, that's the plan.
Besides, they started it.
How about you, though?
What about
You
me?
interested in danger?
I have already been in my fair share.
Do you want to be in some more?
If you're asking if I'm willing to help you, the answer is yes.
Delightful.
But I understand that things are tenuous at the moment. And I understand that you have faced loss recently. So I will be there when you need me. But I do not wish to overstep.
Tenuous, perhaps. But I see no better way to honor the loss than to proceed.
I'm currently staying at the pack house of the Ravens of the Lost. If your pack comes to a decision, you can find me there.
Very good.
In the meantime, I hope it isn't too much to ask for you to help me back to Sept. I'm still new to the area.
I think that's where we're headed anyway.
Hmm?
Thank you.
Yeah, Carol will just kind of break into the easy little lax trot, though she's kind of like keeping eyes just because, nah, fucking right up on the border, right at the same spot too. Fucking bastards.
Oh, before we leave, Torna,
Mm-hmm.
can I run sense where I'm on the area?
Yeah, I'll give it to you. There's no sense worm around this area. No way.
Okay, there's no mistake. Got it.
No.
They eated it.
Just wanted to be sure. But yes. But yeah, once everyone's back to Sept, Mary Alice will kind of like go off and like do her own thing.
And you get in?
Yeah.
Just the link is I do need to actually reach out to a couple people. Do me a favor and keep this a little close to the chest for a minute until I get things in position.
Keep what close to the chest?
My hero. Yeah, she'll actually like once they get back and Mary Alice has had a chance to flit off where she needs to go. Yeah, Kira will be like, "Yeah, my hero," and then we'll go trot 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 trot. Fucking, she'll revert and slip over because she has calls to make. Such calls.
And Gideon's gonna go and become an accidental ornithologist.
Gonna take up bird watching there, buddy.
Figure out ospreys.
Oh boy. Oh, is there any other people you would like to reach out to or anything while we got everyone here?
He's gonna keep an eye out for the eyes of Tyr. I mean, you know, his Ragabash has annoyed him enough to thinking that it's probably a good idea to talk to folk.
Eyes of tier wise. Let's see which one will be around at this time. It will be her, yeah.
Who?
Their beta, Olga. She's probably sitting on one of the benches, just sharpening one of the one of her knives or one of her axes, whichever kind of she's in the mood for. She kind of alternates between it.
He, let me just do a quick take a look just to make sure the person figure out who who I'm approaching exactly. Oh, that's the Adren. Fun. Okay. You would approach.
Yeah, she looks up with her
Halves, yeah.
hardened eyes, and she kind of tilts her head. You know.
I'm not interrupting, I hope.
No.
I was told recently that I am a bit antisocial. So I have decided that I was going to approach the first person that I knew by eye.
There's like a slow nod as she just runs the whetstone off the curve of the blade with a, and just nods. And you chose the Adrian. Like there's a small, you can detect a small like smirk in her voice. As she looks down and does another like line across the blade.
Well, I set the goal. I didn't dictate which person it would be. You're the first person that I met that I knew by eye, and I just went with it. I tend to go by that. A plan? No. I have tactical goals with a very rough approach.
Nods. Tell from your fighting style.
Well, yeah. But if you don't mind my asking, how long have you been the beta of the IF tier?
Since its formation.
Hmm?
Since its formation.
And how long ago was that?
She kind of leans back like, let me think. Kind of like looking up at the sky. Some nearly 9 years now.
Fuck. Shit. Huh.
Why do you ask?
Just curious. This is kind of the first time I've ever been a beta of a pack.
This is all I've known as well. This is the only pack I've been a part of.
How do you, I assume everybody has a different approach. How do you approach the others? Is it
How
like,
do I approach the others? You kind of raise like,
is it kind of like the, I don't know, authoritarian? Is it the velvet hand? I'm sorry, the velvet glove, the iron hand.
Naga is more the iron hand. That is his role as the alpha, the iron will, the scale of a dragon. To lead others to war, to bring the wisdom of such ancients to war. I am their spiritual connection. I appeal to their ancestors, themselves, their souls. They fall behind. I remind them that their ancestors once fell behind, and then they rose to the snow and ice and were victorious. And they channel that fury into themselves. And they become indestructible.
That's deep.
We are an ancient tribe, full of ancient glories and ancient ferocity. If we cannot use it, then we are nothing.
You know the story of Jorgemundr, right?
Yes, the great betrayer and his kind are leeching off the earth, yes?
Who killed him?
We all did. Together. Fenrir's. It is not the simple mortal mythology. There is no great Aesir. And she says that with disgust in her tone. They are the betrayers.
I only am familiar with the, I guess, the mortal version of it. And I always knew that Jormungandr kills Thor, but I think Balder killed him?
Mm.
I
It is
wasn't
very
sure.
different to ours. Kind of tilting his head at him. Great Fenris was the Arun of the first pack. The first ever pack. He fought, well, giants of the worm in the far northern reaches, and then he met the giantess Sigyn of the Vanir. They fought for a long time and was nursed back to health. And after that, they brought together and they had Skull, Hati, and Garm. Our homeland was initially taken from us, our great land, by the betrayer, Loki. And then Odin, blood brother of Loki, false sayer, further damaged us and invaded Valhalla itself. We lost, but then we swore eternal revenge against him and his ilk, which are what we call the leeches and the worm. And one day we will retake Heimala, which is Valhalla to you. That is why we go to Fenris's halls and we wait for the eternal battle that will come, and it will be their reckoning. We go home to glory to prepare for eternal glory, of likes which we can never experience again.
All this just sounds crazy.
Beowulf was a Fenrir, and he did slay Grendel, if that helps. It was from him that the future name of the tribe would be taken.
I'm admittedly very happy that that's the case.
Beowulf was a great warrior. If you know of the Germanic people who butchered the Romans, he was a Fenrir, their leader. Arminius, I believe, or Far Runner, as he was known to us. The people who sacked Rome were us. And while the Fianna may have driven us out of Ireland, they still fear our sails.
Oh, rightly so.
But Odin fled from us eventually when we tracked him to his umbral realm. Tyr was one of those who turned against Odin. While he may have lost his hand, he redeemed himself in our outcome, and that is why we hold him in a much more respectable position. He chose justice.
Wait, okay, I did pay attention to some degree when it came to the Den Mother's teaching. It was the trap that they laid for Fenris, and he had made a deal that he would be willing to try the chains so long as one of them put their hand in his mouth.
Yes.
It was Tyr.
Yes, but he lost his hand in the great battle that decimated Odin's forces. Fenrir sacrificed his ability to fully step into this realm, bound himself in chains so he could break ours. That is why you hear the rumbling of broken chains when he comes. For he sacrificed himself for his children, and only on the day when the world will split open will he break those chains again, so we and he may do battle again.
Hmm.
Did they not teach you this?
They did, but it's kind of like I didn't listen much in CCD either. I mean, when I was hearing it, it kind of struck me as fairy tales and hokum until I saw until my first time across, and I realized it wasn't. And then I realized that I really should have been paying fucking attention.
I'll give you a simple lesson. There's a reason the worm cannot defeat us. It's a very simple one. We are not huddled in one place like the Red Talons, or the children of Gaia who seek peace. We need no lords or true leaders. So you cannot destroy our full command. We can live without technology, so we can fight with our bare hands. We have bloodlines, but they are not our central focus. So we can rebuild the ranks with warriors willing to fight. We are more than just a people or an army. We are culture and we are strength. While you cannot kill the idea of strength, we can certainly kill you. That is what it is to be Fenrir. It is not an easy life, for ease breeds decay, and we can never let decay fester into our hearts.
I'm sorry if I bring this up and it's in poor taste, but you've had packmates die before.
Not.
Do you mourn them? Or do you just persist?
She eases up and takes off her cloak, and you'll see names inscribed in runic symbols all over her armor. That is how I mourn. I carry them into battle, so that their strength is mine.
His hand would go to the scars that are on his arm. Oh, at least we're in like-minded
And
places.
while they may kill my brothers and sisters, we have already achieved the victory.
I'm sorry, say that again.
While they have killed my brothers and sisters, we have already achieved the victory. For death means we return home to the final battlefield. They return to Malpheus when they die, an empty shell. We stand eternal. I don't mourn my packmates dying. And she gestures at the symbols. I celebrate them, so the worm may fear them.
At least I'm doing something right. Yeah.
Only the weak let the sadness and the shame wallow over them. The true and the strong. Bear them on their skin and march to victory.
I like that.
Nod slowly.
And do your packmates share your sentiment, or do they handle it in their own ways as well?
Everyone chooses the way they carry it, but they all carry the same philosophy. We just celebrate in different ways. Naga chooses action rather than symbolism. When his nephew was butchered, he carved their name into their chest. So when they would go back to their land, they would know who sent them there. Magnus inscribes it on his blades rather than armor, so that they may be his ultimate gavel. And Finn takes portions of their blood and imbues them into their hair, into him, in a much more literal sense that he almost absorbs an essence of them. So he can feel the ancestors calling him. Do your packmates struggle to mourn your loss?
No. I don't think they struggle. I think they do it differently. And unfortunately, not all of them are Get.
Nods. The others do things differently here. Some weep. I never understood it.
Yeah. And some have.
There's a difference between wallowing and weeping in victory, I find.
I didn't see any good coming of weeping. I don't think Joe would have wanted me to weep.
Your packmate returned home.
Mm-hmm.
That is the true victory that he needs.
Yeah.
That's why we sung for him.
That song. Hel Hel Helgev
Helgavan.
Helgevan. Where is that from?
Home. I'm Hala. That's what they sung before they fought Odin.
Does it have words?
It does.
Could I trouble you to find out what they are?
Then she sits back down again and sheathes the axe blade onto her belt. Who shall sing me into the dead sleep sling? For I walk the way of hell, and the tracks I tread are cold, so cold. I sought the songs, I sent the songs, when the deepest well give me drop so harsh. This is my Valhallan pledge. All I know of you, Fenrir, where you and your eyes may dwell. Early in the day's end, still I know you are with me if I fall. When you stand at the gates of hell, dear Odin, and when the tree falls beneath you, I shall follow you down there, across, past the bridge of gold, and our bonds that you have bound us with shall be free. Cattle may die, kinsmen may die, but you will die, and in that death we shall be free.
I'm gonna try to learn that song.
You'll have to learn the old tongue.
Then I guess I'll just have to learn the old tongue.
It's better in the old tongue. It has more impact.
And that is German?
Norse.
Norse.
It can be either the Swedish dialect, the Icelandic dialect. They all come from the same central tongue. Ancient Germanic origins have it more closely, but I know the Norwegian version of it. Though there are different dialects, you see. It kind of just gives like a spread of our hands. Like, different cultures, different like areas. But it's all the one at the base essence.
I wouldn't want to assume. Do you think one of the den mothers would know it? Or den parents know it?
Of course, Lena knows it. There's like a smirk.
And the tongue that you think would be best, she would know it.
Yes, she knows the more Finnish dialect. I know the more Norwegian version, which was where I'm from.
Well, then, I think I should learn the Norwegian version.
I could teach you.
I didn't want to assume, but I will learn it if
Yep.
you'd be willing.
It is my duty and spiritual compulsion to teach the young of knowledge of our tribe. If I do not do that, then I am not doing my job.
Then I would be honored to learn it.
But if not, we'll do it after combat training.
Very
Out
well.
in the crags so you can hear your ancestors speak it.
Okay.
You should go to the crags in the Umbra. You'll hear all the sons and daughters who came before you sing, sometimes in the morning.
You know, in all the excitement of this, I've never actually been up to the crags myself.
You should go. It'll teach you what it is to feel like you're at one of the fjords. It's the closest thing here that we can do.
I've got nothing but time, so I guess that's what I'm going to go do now.
It's just not.
Thank you again.
Yeah, she just inclines her head and unsheets her axe again and starts cleaning it.
I'll leave you to it.
Good luck.
Thank you, Call of the Dark Beast, Raya.
What a problem.
And he would take a step back and leave.
Yeah, you just hear her just doing the same like gentle like care and attention to the blade, making sure that it's all fully done, and takes very good pride in her work,
All right.
In that case, is there anything else people would like to do?
Gideon's going to go up to the crags and try to belt out whatever the fuck that was. Poorly. It's just like, flurkin shit!
Fuck!
Novocaine!
Screaming at the sky, why don't you work?
Beautiful. Well, in that case, I guess I will close this scene for now and tackle all manner of people. Goodness gracious.